Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, I've got sort of a special video because these have been sort of few and far between. This is another Goodwill haul. I found this at one of the Goodwills here in Washington, and this was $5.99. Now, a little story, while I was there, you'll never guess what I found in another bag, and I'm sort of kicking myself for not getting it because that second bag had a hollow taco in it. And I didn't get it. It was one of their purple multi-chromes. I don't remember what that one was called, but the bag was a little bit more expensive. I think it was $6.99, but still, it's a hollow taco that costs $14. I'm wishing I had gotten it, but in any case, I did get this bag, and as you can see, it is chock full of a lot of polish. There's quite a few Juleps, some Revlons, and Essees right off the bat. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what we have. All right, so we do have quite a variety here. Let's see what this blue one is. It is Bikini So Teeny. So this will be my second bottle of this. I did get one previously in a mystery bag or a D-stash or something like that. I don't think it was one that I got intentionally, but I do really like this color. So now I have what seems to be a fuller bottle than the one that I have, which I think has a fill line about here. So around the last E in Essie. So we've got Essie Bikini So Teeny. Next up, we'll do the other Essie. This one is called Trophy Wife. This one is a really beautiful teal. It does look metallic. Curious about this one, so I think we're going to try swatching it. It does have a lovely metallic finish to it. Got one of my little nail wheels here. We'll see how this one swatches. Definitely a bit on the sheer side, not too bad though. It does have the Essie thin brush. I think this one will look pretty nice though. You know what this sort of reminds me of is China Glaze's Watermelon Rind. I think that was the name. Sort of this metallic-y, glistening green. It does leave a little bit of streaks on the nail, but it is a really pretty color. And obviously the formula in the bottle seems to still be good, so that's awesome. So that was Trophy Wife. So those are our two Essies. Next, let's go ahead and do the Sinful Colors. There's a few of those. This one is sort of an orangey salmon color called Hazard. Do I have this color already? Because the name sounds familiar. I'm wondering if maybe I have Hazard by a different brand, because I want to say that the orange that I have that I'm thinking of that's called Hazard is like Hazard Orange, and this is rather a pastel. Like I said, it's more of a like salmon color. Curious about how this one swatches, because I was looking for a pastel-y, brighter orange for my spring rack. Let's see if this one sort of fits the bill. Actually, this very well could. It's not as yellow as I was thinking. I was thinking a little bit more of a yellow orange, but still in this shade range as far as the depth of color. But that is an interesting color, and I'm still curious about the name, because Hazard to me would be a brighter orange, but in any case, that was Sinful Colors Hazard. Next up, let's do this blue Sinful Colors. This one is called Midnight Blue. This is really pretty. A very midnight blue, a bit of a deep sapphire maybe. I want to see this one swatched as well, because that seems like that could be a really pretty color. And again, the bottles on this seem to be in really good shape. I'm not seeing any formulation issues, thickening, and mostly empty bottles or drying out, nothing like that. So this one does have a bit of shimmer in it, and pardon the horrendous swatching on that one, but that one is really pretty. So we're going to do a second coat of that one. I think I'm going to go with Sapphire on this one, because that is a really beautiful but bright blue. Not as dark as what I would classify as a midnight color. It's really gorgeous though. All right, so that was Sinful Colors Midnight Blue. Well, although the name is Midnight Blue, so there you go. All right, the third Sinful Colors in the bag is this one called Soulmate. And this is another one that sounds familiar with the name. so I may already have it, but it is more of a pink leaning coral, if that makes any sense. Maybe we will stick with coral because this is from my spring rack. This is Nail Hoot, and that is Through Dangers Untold and Hardships Unnumbered. And I was calling this a coral, so I guess technically they are sort of in the same color family. I feel like this one has a lot more pink in it though. It is a cream formula. Again, looks really good in the bottle. I'll have to give this one a try. It's not a bad color. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. It's trying to see if there's anything even close to something similar that I have, at least up here, but I'm not seeing anything, so we'll have to give that one a try. All right, let's do the Revlon. This one's one of the ones that I was excited to see. This is called Urban, and this is a really pretty deep blurple. I love this color. This seems slightly sticky in the base, but not unworkable, so that's good. Let's see how this one looks on the nail. Yeah, I think swatching wise, it will need a little bit of thinner to help get it back to a better application, because this is not so good. But look at that color. That is really pretty. Hopefully it's coming across on camera. So this one was Midnight Blue, and this one is that Revlon Urban. So hopefully you can see that Urban has that beautiful deep indigo to it compared to the bright blue sapphire from the Midnight one from Sinful Colors. All right, so that one was Revlon's Urban. All right, let's do the Sally Hansen. This is in the Miracle Gel line. This is called Boho A Go-Go. I don't think I have this one, and this is a really beautiful purple. This is somewhere between like a grape and aubergine almost. Ooh, and it's got the wide brush. All right, that is awesome. This looks like a beautiful shade. I really like this one. I think this will be nice for fall. This one, I think you can get a really good representation in the bottle. It is just a cream formula. And look at that. I love that you've got your little band of color here on the bottle. I don't think I've ever noticed that on any of the other bottles before. I think that's a really cool touch. So that was a Boho A Go-Go. The next Sally Hansen that was in that bag is Pink Punk. And that's another one, the name sounds familiar and I don't know why, but this is in the family of pinks that I have been liking. You should see my summer rack. I guess I already have my summer rack. I know I just posted my spring rack, but while I was putting together my spring rack, I also put together my summer rack. And it's got a lot of pinks on it, and a lot of them are this color, this type of color, this juicy, bright, verging on neon, sort of a Barbie, sort of a fuchsia, magenta leaning pink. So lots of colors that I have in that rack that I'm really excited to wear, and this one should fit in nicely. Not that I need to add another one to my summer rack, it's already full, but if I compare this to a few of the ones that I have on my rack, and this is pretty unique, I might have to switch one of them out. So that was Sally Hansen's Pink Punk. Next up, let's do this little Revlon. This one is called Seashell. This one looks like a very, very soft peachy neutral. I wonder if this is like a sheer formula. Yeah, it does seem to be a sheer color. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you watched my spring rack, I have 3 purposefully sheer colors on my spring rack, but this is a little yellow leaning. For my skin tone, but we'll see. It is also one of the more used bottles that is in this bag so far, but we've already gotten our money's worth, so we're not too worried if I end up not liking that one. But that was Revlon's Seashell. Next up, let's do the I was going to say all of the Odessas, but but it looks like these are 3 different brands. We've got one from Odess, the other 2 of them are from Pretty Woman, and then we have one from PS Cosmic Cuticles. Okay, all right, so let's do this one first. This is from Odess, and this one is called Surfer Girl. This one definitely needs a good shake up, but it looks like it's a really beautiful sort of pastel blue-green. Yeah, maybe like a very, very light mint shade. Let's go ahead and see how that one swatches. Very, very light so far. Needs still to be shaken up a little bit more before this is going to apply nicely. I think I messed up my first layer on that second layer, but it is a really cute color. I think it's coming off a little darker on camera than it is in person, but it's a very beautiful spring shade. I might have to give that one a try. It's pretty cute. So that one was Ades Surfer Girl. Now moving on to our, oh, actually I don't know what happened to that lid, but we've got two from Pretty Woman. This first one looks like, actually I can't tell if it is a like ox blood or if it's a brown, and it has no label. What color is this? I'm going to go with incredibly deep ox blood because I do see a little bit of fuchsia there on the neck. So let's see how it swatches. The formula of it looks pretty decent. Oh yeah, definitely ox blood. So this reminds me kind of the color of Lincoln Park After Dark, in that super, super dark, almost black color, but down here where it's thinnest, you can see that color peeking through. I would be curious to see how those two do compare, but it is a really gorgeous color, and I do really like these colors, this tone on my skin tone. But that was that. So we don't know what that one is named, but that was by Pretty Woman. And then the second one from Pretty Woman is the one with the very odd issue going on with the lid. I have no idea what's going on there. This one also has no name, but it needs a really good shake. And this one looks to be more like a greige or a taupe. Definitely a greige. The formula on this definitely needs a better shake. It's really having some separation issues, so it's really kind of hard to tell what the color is actually going to be because it has that separation going on throughout it. But let's see if we can't get it to a swatchable consistency. And again, even if some of these end up not being ones that I keep, we've already got our money's worth with two Essies, the Revlon and the Sally Hansen right here I'm definitely keeping, and at least two of the Sinful colors. So, and we haven't even done the Juleps. All right, let's see. I will say I do like the brushes that these Pretty Woman bottles have. They're sort of that flat, slightly wider brush. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, I would call this a greige. Probably okay that it's not in the best of shape. That color's not something I think I would be drawn to myself. It's a little bit too ashy for my skin tone, but it's a very interesting color, but probably won't be keeping that one. But that was another Pretty Woman. Unknown name there. All right, and then last of our little round bottles is this one from PS Cosmic Cuticles, and another no name. Another no name. This one does look like more of a peachy color, a neutral peachy color. Another that has probably been sitting in someone's nail polish collection for years. Needs a really good shake. Let's see. Yeah, peachy. Sort of reminds me of Devil Wears Nada from Sally Hansen. I don't have that one up here, so I'm not sure how they would compare, but I do already have that one, so I don't know that I need this one, but we'll have to see about that one. Okay, then last but not least before we get into our juleps, there's this one from Sally Hansen, and it is in their nail rehab line, and it also has no name. My guess is it might have been one of those kinds with a little sticker up here on the lid. Either that or it was just this strengthener, which I don't know that I've seen this line before. But in any case, since it's a nail fortifier, my guess would be that it is a shearer formula. Oh my gosh, look at the brush. That's so itty bitty. How is that so itty bitty? You see that? Oh my gosh, that is tiny. All right, let me know what you guys think. Have you seen this before? Do you like it? Did you use it? Is it one of your go-tos? Have I just not seen it somehow? Let me know if I should keep that or not. All right, so now we're down to the handful of juleps that I have in this bag. Let's start with this one here. This one is Della, and this is a really beautiful deep purple with some silver shimmer to it. I don't think I had very many of these. I think I may have had, no, I don't think I had Carissa either. So maybe I don't have any of these. It's been a while since I bought the bag, to be honest, so I'm not sure. So I don't think I have this one. Let's see how this one swatches. Ooh, okay, so it's sort of like almost got a metallic sheen to it. It is a little bit thick in here, so I would probably want to come back and add a little bit of polish thinner. But not, no, I was going to say not too bad. It's pretty bad. Oops, and of course I got a fuzz. So definitely want to come back and add some thinner to this. But this is a really beautiful color. I like it. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Hopefully you can see that purple tone. It definitely leans towards that dusty purple family that I really like. Definitely in the darker family of that, on the darker range of that, I should say. So that first one from Julep was Della. And next we've got this beautiful dark green. This one is not labeled. Their little stickers do have a tendency of falling off, but this is another subtle shimmer. So you've got a deep like forest green with some subtle green shimmer going on. This one doesn't look as thick as Della. Ooh, this is very pretty. And because it hasn't thickened, it's definitely going to need 2 coats. Della was a 1-coat wonder because it was so thick. But that is a really pretty green. Actually, the two next to each other, the purple and this deep green, look very nice together. Yeah, I like this one. That subtle shimmer in it is really pretty. All right, so there we have 2 coats of unnamed dark green. And next up we've got this one that definitely has some little separation issues. This is Carissa. And ooh, is this our first dead bottle? I think it is. Let's double check, but this one might be completely dried out. Okay, so not completely, but that is really, really close to being completely dried out. That is gloopy. But it is just a cream. I would be curious to see how this compares to some of the Zoyas that I have that are in the same range of colors, because this is a really beautiful, deep, rosy neutral, kind of mauvish, but it sort of has a bit of rosewood to it as well. So I'll come back and, well, actually I have it right here. I'll just add some thinner and see if we can't get this swatchable. I'm using OPI's Polish Thinner, and this needs a lot, so we're just going to drop in a few drops. Wasn't even counting. Oops. Just messed up my manicure. Aw, got some impromptu nail art. Oh well. Let's give this a good shake. All right, but that is already way better. Let's see if it made the formula any more workable for right now. It did. Woohoo! 1 polish brought back to life. And I want to say it's making me think of at least one polish that I've seen from Zoya. I don't know if I have it, but I like this tone. Oh yeah, this is really pretty. Let me know if it's reminding you of any polishes from Zoya to you as well. Offhand, I cannot think of what any of them would be named, but that is really pretty. It is deep without being too dark. It's a beautiful mix of a blushy mauve with maybe a pinch of brown in it. Actually, you know what it also reminds me of is maybe one of the colors that I got from Ella and Mila. Hang on. Almost looks like Till Forever, except Till Forever is not as dark. But then the other one that I got from Ella and Mila is actually a little bit browner, and that was Wanderer. So those I think were the 2 that I was thinking of from Ella and Mila. But if this is reminding you of any in Zoya's line, feel free to comment down below. But we'll definitely be holding on to this. We'll see if we can't get that to workable consistency. I like that. That was Carissa. All right. Next up is this really beautiful holographic. Also missing its little label. So I'm not sure what this one might be named, but it is really pretty. It is a very deep berry toned color, full of holographic. This one might be another that's possibly dried out. Not dried out, but gloopy. Not to worry, I think we can fix this one as well. Let's hope I don't add more nail art to my manicure. So I only added 4 drops to this one because this wasn't as dried out as Carissa was. So we just want a little bit to sort of loosen up the consistency of the polish. And I think I could have added a little bit more, but let's go ahead and see how it swatches. Okay, so this is a deep berry tone like I was thinking. I wasn't too sure if when I got to swatching it, if it might be a little bit more burgundy leaning, but that's definitely a gorgeous berry tone. Very pretty. And that second coat is going to deepen this color, but I think it's still going to maintain its berryness. This is very pretty. Again, with the sloppy swatches, I've got color on the next wheel. Oh well. So the hollow is more of a scattered effect, but very pretty on that second coat. So that was 2 coats of our other unnamed julep. Next up, we've got a gold glitter. This one is called Mako. At least I think that's how you pronounce that. Mako. This one is sort of a mix of different kinds of gold glitter. It does look like it's moving around rather nicely in there. So let's see. Yeah, seems to be working out pretty nicely in there. Might use a couple of drops just to help thin that out a bit. It's not my favorite. This type of gold is not one that I reach for very often, but it seems like it's in decent shape, so maybe I'll put that one in one of my D-stashes. But that was Mako. Next up is a silver. This one is called Sage. Okay, wait a second. Okay, maybe it's a very, very light green. Oh, hang on. I think I may have found one of our little missing labels. I wonder which one this is. It says Celine. Do I have any other ones in here? Nope. Alright, so Celine is one of our missing ones. I wonder if it's no classic with a twist. You know, I'm not sure, but there you go. I've got one of the labels. I'll match that to one of the ones that was missing it. Perfect. Okay. Back to Sage. So for Sage, it seems like it might actually be a very, very soft sage green. It does have a bit of shimmer in there as well, and somewhat of a metallic finish. All right, if this is sage, it is a very, very light sage. So now I'm curious. So now we'll go ahead and swatch it, and I'm going to skip this one because it has a darker color on it that I accidentally got on there. Okay, maybe it's a tiny, tiny pinch of green in there. Just barely though. I mean, that's very difficult to tell that it's anything but a sort of a pewtered out silver. Yeah, I would definitely classify this as a very incredibly light green, mostly silver. I mean, if you want this because it's a green, or if you bought this because you thought it was a green, you might be disappointed. And as you can see, the formula is definitely streaky. Unique, but I'm probably not going to be keeping that. But yeah, there you go. That was Sage. All right, next up, we've got another holographic. This one is called Rosario. So this says it's It Girl. If you missed what Julep was a nail polish subscription that you could have, and these little names underneath it, like It Girl or Classic with a Twist, were basically the categories that you could get a subscription in. So if you were, let's see, we have Boho Glam was one of them. We'll go with this one since it's right there, and I know it's a Classic with a Twist. And then you had It Girl, and I want to say there was another one, but I don't remember what it was. So basically, when you signed up for your subscription, you picked which one would be your go-to box, but for each month's box, you could go in and pick which nail polishes you wanted them to send you. So this one, I want to say it's maybe a deepened black and purple with some holographic. Yeah, I think I see a bit of purple there on the neck. And the formulation on this one seems to not have thickened, at least not too badly. So we'll go ahead and swatch this one. Yeah, actually the formulation on this is pretty decent. Hasn't thickened up. And I definitely see that gray tone purple in there. So this one definitely has a lot more gray in it than it does purple. Yeah, it's a pretty color. I like that one. So that one was Julep's Rosario. And then we just got one more in our Goodwill bag, and that was Julep Shelly. And this is also a very soft duck egg blue, kind of like the one from Odesse. Actually, very much like the one from Odesse. Let's see, this one is getting a little bit of separation in the bottle. Some of that white is sticking to the sides of the bottle. Now I'm wishing I could have swatched this next to the one from Odesse. That way we could see. But we'll see how it swatches anyways. We'll get it at least across from that one. Okay. Decent formulation still, or formula I should say. It hasn't thickened. I would say it is pretty close. The one from Odesse might be a bit darker, and by a bit I mean like the barest pinch. Oh yeah, this is definitely a very soft color. And I'm still seeing the one from Odesse as being a little bit darker, just by a touch. All right, so that one was Julep's Shelly. And there you go, that was my Goodwill bag that I got. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites, or if you've been able to find any Goodwill bags. I know these can be sort of hit or miss depending on the thrift store, the location, when you go, and all that sort of thing. I was going on a roll a couple of years ago, but the amount of polish, at least that I've been seeing, has definitely dwindled. So don't get discouraged. They might still be there. Just keep looking. But thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my videos. And I'll see you in that next one.